Hi, I'm Erin, and welcome to episode 3 of Pain Management Tips and Tricks for Cyclists, sponsored by Sumom Cycling. Today we'll be looking at neck pain. Unfortunately, neck pain, like lower back pain in cycling, stems from the unnatural position and posture we adopt on the bike, as well as lack of strength endurance in the muscles required to maintain that position for extended periods of time. Although there's no impact or trauma directly on the neck, overuse injuries can be draining and quite severe. Commonly, deeper muscles in the back of your neck, extensor muscles, become exhausted and tighten in order to compensate for lack of strength. As a result, the muscle running from the shoulder to the base of the skull, trapezius, takes on extra work and can develop pain from overuse. What we'll cover in this video is most common causes of neck pain, methods to prevent, and methods to treat. Golden stretches and exercises for neck pain. So what are some common causes of neck pain? The most common type of discomfort in cyclists is often described as pain in the upper shoulders or base of the skull where your neck begins. Both areas contain muscles that are responsible for holding the neck upright and tilting your head so line of sight is forwards. Particularly with road bikes and their lower profile, this extension or craning of the neck is exaggerated compared to commuter bikes or mountain bikes, where the upper body position is more upright. Some key areas to address are posture, limited mobility or flexibility, and insufficient levels of strength endurance in the erector muscles. Starting off with the quickest yet more important solution is that of bike fit and posture. Without getting too in depth, as that is something for a professional bike fitter, a simple solution in the initial stages to reduce pain is raising handlebar height. By raising your handlebars slightly and changing hand positions regularly on the top of your hoods or in the drops, it gives your neck a chance to rest and reset, rather than staying in one fixed position. It also helps to be conscious of your arm position throughout the ride as well. A slight bend in the elbow can ease pressure and tension on the neck and shoulders. Although posture can make a big difference in most cyclists, mobility and flexibility of the neck can limit achieving the correct posture. Stretching can be broken down into two areas: pre-ride to warm up the muscles of the neck, and post-ride to relieve tension that may have built up. We'll touch on these areas later on in treatment of neck pain. Another symptom which can be useful when determining the cause of pain is identifying whereabouts in the ride pain first occurs. If you can ride for 2 to 2.5 hours without pain, however start to notice it more on the longer 3 to 4 hour rides, it may be a result of weak neck and shoulder muscles. When deep neck muscles fatigue, your trapezius muscles take up the slack. After a period of time in tension, blood flow to the area is reduced, limiting oxygen supply. By keeping these muscles strong, it allows them to stay in a relaxed state, while at the same time supporting the head during longer rides. Two key areas we'll address in prevention is building this strength and mobility in the shoulder and neck muscles. So what are some methods to treat neck pain? When it comes to treatment and prevention of neck pain in cycling, it's key to note that if there is any sudden sharp pain or pins and needles, it's important to seek professional opinion. Being such a crucial part of the human body, the last thing anyone needs is aggravation or long-term issues arising from self-treatment or misdiagnosis. If you have sought professional help regarding your bike fit, yet are still struggling with tightness and range of motion in the neck, mobility may be a key area to improve on. There are 3 key planes of motion we want to target when putting together a regular stretching routine. They are flexion and extension, side flexion, and rotation. What we're going to target today is some quick stretches and exercises that will look at all different planes of our neck motion, pushing it to its end range of motion, holding it there for a second, bring it back to center, and then moving on to the next one. What this will do is increase range of motion over time, increase mobility, and hopefully reduce neck pain. What we're going to start off with is just head flexion and extension. So bringing your chin all the way through to your chest, bring it as far as you can actively, and then you want one hand just behind your head and slowly push it down. By using one hand, it will reduce the amount of force that you put through your neck, so we don't want to put too much, we just want to put a little bit until you can feel the muscles at the back of your neck tighten. You're going to hold this for 30 seconds, release, and slowly bring back to the center. The next one we're going to do is look towards the ceiling. So bring your head all the way back. We won't put any pressure on this one as the weight of your head will naturally pull your head backwards anyway. So you just want to feel until it hinges at the back, and you should feel these muscles at the side of your neck slowly stretch. Hold it here and bring back to the center. Remember to keep the shoulders relaxed through all this. The next one we're going to do is look to the side and then bring your chin towards your chest. You should feel the muscles on one side of your neck slowly pull and stretch. If you feel okay with it, put one hand the same side your head's on behind your head and gently pull towards your armpit. Again, not too much pressure. We want to be delicate but still stretch. Release your hand and slowly bring your head up and then back towards center. Do the same on the other side. Chin to shoulder, chin to chest, hand behind your head, and slowly apply pressure. All of these hold for 30 to 45 seconds. Or if you feel it would benefit you more, 10 seconds hold, release, another 10 seconds hold, just personal preference. So you're going to release and bring back to the center. Next one, it's going to be similar, but instead of turning our head, we're just going to bend our head to the side. So this is working on your side flexion. Try and get your ear to your shoulder. I like to hold my hands in front because it trains you to keep your shoulders level rather than bending your whole torso. So we're not moving our torso, we're just moving our head. Again, hands slightly on top of the head and pulling down. Release back to center and then repeat on the other side. We're going to pull, hold, release and back to center. The last one we're going to do is head rotation or neck rotation. So same as side flexion, look towards one side, try and get your chin towards your shoulder, but we're not dropping the head, we're keeping the eye level the same. Don't twist your torso, keep your torso straight towards the center, and then try and go a bit over your shoulder. Hold this, bring back to the center, and repeat on the other side. Only go as far as you can feel it pull, don't push any further behind. And bring it back to the center. So all of these you can do pre-ride, post-ride, or even just waking up in the morning, just to get those neck muscles stretched and turned on. So what are some methods to prevent neck pain? We've gone through neck pain, common causes, and methods to treat neck pain, but how can we prevent further aggravation long term? With a solid foundation through our posture on the bike fit, and also neck mobility, we can start working on more complex exercises that can be completed daily. These fall into two categories: those that improve neck flexor strength and those that improve trapezius mobility and strength. So those that improve neck flexor strength. To increase neck flexor strength, we want to target the muscles that are able to support the head when in a forwards position on the bike. It is important to target strength in this block, however also endurance, as I'll need to support the neck for extended periods of time. Some key muscle groups we need to target are the deep flexor muscles, levator scapula, and scalene muscles. Moving on now, we're going to start working on some exercises that are targeted at strengthening your neck. So being a delicate area, none of these involve weights, none of them involve excessive resistance, except we will use our body weight from our hands, and then later on we'll use the wall. Similar to stretches, it's just going to be a chin tuck standing up. We're going to bring our chin towards our chest, both hands this time onto the back of your head, push a little pressure through the head, but instead of just going with the resistance, we're going to go against it. So you're going to push up, almost like you're pushing your hands away from your head. So then release, come back down, push down with your hands, and then push up with your neck. So we're not putting any excessive pressure on, it's just purely our weight of our head plus a little bit more. If you want to start off easier, literally just going backwards and up, down and up. It doesn't seem like much, but it'll just increase awareness in those back muscles. The next two we're going to do, we're going to lie on the ground. So coming down, starting on our back, make sure you have a nice surface. You're going to lie with your shoulders flat on the ground, the back of your head touching. Just rest your hands on your stomach or wherever you feel comfortable. And we're just going to lift our head off the ground, hold it there, bring it back down. So when we're at this top position, we don't want to be straining our neck muscles. We're just feeling these two at the front contract and bring back down. So again, bring it up, just using the weight of our head, holding and bringing back down. You shouldn't feel any contraction in any shoulder muscle or back muscle, purely just your front neck muscles. And back down. Similarly, we're going to come up onto our side, have this hand on the ground out in front of you, get into a comfortable position. You're going to go on the ground, bring your neck up, contract, back to center, up, hold it there. So you're thinking about squeezing the side muscles. I'm going to come back down again and up. If you find this position a bit awkward or it's a bit sore on your shoulder, you can just find a comfortable bed, take the pillow away and do the head flexion from there. The last one we're going to do is on the wall. So it's just a static neck hold. We'll slowly bring our feet away from the wall while having our head resting on it and holding and then coming back. Strengthening exercise is going to be a static head hold against the wall. With this one, again, any neck exercise, be very careful with how much pressure you're putting against your neck. Ways to counteract that, just have your feet closer to the wall. So we'll start off, find a nice flat wall, lots of space around you. You're going to stand perfectly straight against the wall with the back of your head pressing against. Keeping your arms by your sides, we don't want our shoulders on the wall at all. You're just going to slowly walk out until you feel your head supporting your body. So about here, it's a little bit of pressure, but it's not too much. But we want to keep everything in line. So ears above shoulders, shoulders above hips. We don't want any of this or this. We want to keep a nice neutral spine. I wouldn't go out any further than this, as that's starting to put a fair bit of pressure through your neck. But what this does is it teaches you to switch on all those muscles that keep you nice and straight. So this is handy when you're on the bike. We want to keep a nice neutral spine. We don't want any sagging or bending. You just want to squeeze in your core, squeeze your glutes, keep your shoulders nice and relaxed. There shouldn't be any tension through there. And then there's a tiny bit of pressure through the front of your neck, and then the muscles at the back of your neck are contracting. So hold here for about 30 to 45 seconds. Slowly walk your feet back into the wall and then bring your head off. You can do that 2 to 3 times each. Again, like I said, if you don't want to go out that far, just start off by having your head 1 step out. Bring it back in if you feel like that's too much, but you just want to concentrate engaging all your core, all your back, all your neck, and keeping a nice neutral spine. So on to those that improve trapezius mobility and strength. To increase trapezius mobility and strength, we want to target the muscles so that we are able to reduce tension when cycling. As you bend further forward in your lower back, your neck will have to extend high in order to keep eye level constant. By improving mobility and strength of the trapezius, ideally you'll be able to increase the amount of time spent in this position before tension arises. It will also result in less strain on the deep flexor muscles of the neck, reducing the risk of inflammation, sprains, or fatigue. So our last group of exercises we're going to do, we've worked on the neck strength, we've worked on the neck and shoulder flexibility. We're going to finish up with some shoulder strength. So again, not complex, that's to be left for the gym. These ones are more just, you can do them daily at home, pre-ride, post-ride, just working on engaging those muscles, switching on the neuromuscular pathways, and increasing that strength. So we're going to start with hands by your side, just simple shoulder shrugs. So what we want to do is we're not crunching forward. If I go side on, we're not crunching forward. We're not going back like this. You just want to bring them up to your ears in one straight line. Squeezing at the top, you should feel it just between your collarbones and back down. So what these will do is when you're on the bike, you'll be aware of like contracting here and holding stable here, but we don't want to crunch up. So we want to increase to the top range of motion, hold, and then bring down. When you're bringing down, try and go down further than you can. So think about bringing those shoulders to the ground and pulling them down. So it works as a stretch as well as a strengthening exercise. So repeat those. That's also working on the trapezius, which joins from your shoulder to the base of your skull. So all of these exercises, 6 to 8 reps, 3 to 4 sets, as much as you feel, or in the morning, afternoon, split it in 2. So the next 3 exercises we're going to do, we're going to go down onto the ground. The first one, thoracic stretch. So you're going to come, I'll go this way, all hands and knees. You're going to engage your core, so suck your belly button towards the ceiling. Keep a bit of tension out of the shoulders, and you're going to take one hand, thread the needle under the other, bend your elbow, and bring your shoulder onto the ground. So you should feel this stretch all the way through the upper back, holding there, bringing your arm up and back to center. Again, repeat on the other side, thread the needle through, shoulder onto the ground, holding here. We're going to come back to center and then repeat. If you feel like you can, come forward a bit, have your hand, bring it a bit more center, so slightly under your shoulder. Thread this needle. You're going to put the shoulder on the ground and reach towards the sky. Hold here, bring it back, and repeat on the other side. So thread the needle, hand towards the sky, and bring it back. The next one we're going to do, lying on the ground, you're going to interlock your fingers behind your back, just like this. Think about pushing the elbows towards the sky, and then we're going to sit up. So, getting on the ground, interlocking those fingers, bringing your elbows up, and then just going to raise your front chest. So hold it here, really think about squeezing your shoulder blades together. Try and keep your feet just lightly touching the ground, and then relax. Bring elbows up, bring chest up, squeeze your shoulders. You should feel the muscles squeezing under your fingertips as well in your back. Try and keep your head eye level in front, so this is imitating a position on a bike. If you feel like there's a bit too much tension in your neck at the start, just bring your head towards looking at the ground in front of you. Come down and repeat. So each of these, hold at the top for 10 seconds, squeeze all the muscles, relax and come down. And you can do 6 to 8 of each of those. Our final exercise, classic down dog. So what we're going to do, start on your knees, hands just under your shoulders at the front. We're going to push off our toes, make sure you don't slide on any mat. Bring your toes towards your hands, really suck that belly button towards the sky, sink into your hips and put your head between your shoulders. So we're pushing through, getting a stretch through the armpits. I can feel it in my hammies as well. And then if you bring your feet back, you can bend your arms slightly, hold, and push back up. So it's almost like a modified push-up. Careful you don't start slipping. Head towards the ground, push up. So this is working your triceps. It's working your delts and your shoulders. And it's also increasing stretch. So push through, come back up, press up. So it's a really good one for when you're on the bike holding that static position. And push through, and then coming back to the middle. With that one, 6 to 8 reps of the push-up, probably 2 to 3 times max. If you find it's too hard, just straight downward dog, get a good stretch out of it. Otherwise, enjoy. Thanks for watching this episode of Pain Management Tips and Tricks for Cyclists, sponsored by Sumom Cycling. You can find the other episodes by clicking the link below or by visiting www.sumom.com and check the blog section. For a more personalised approach to building strength on the bike, you can get in touch with me through EJ MacDonald Performance Coaching on Facebook, where we can work together towards building you a specific program. You can check out all of Sumom Cycling's garments on their website at www.sumom.com. Happy riding, and I'll see you on the next video.